What's up guys, welcome to another video about the Subaru WRX STI Bugeye. I thought I'd share a bit more information on the car, some kind of cool back history on it and everything, because I froth on that type of information and everything. It's one of the reasons I love Japanese cars. It's kind of the history of them, where they've been, and you know, their history in Japan and stuff as well. I always love that stuff. It's just I'm a Japan junkie, I guess is the best way to put it. What I have here is the actual original Japanese auction report for the car. So most cars, when they're sold in Japan, they'll go through an auction there. There's a lot of huge auction houses in Japan. That's how cars are bought and sold over there. You probably see it shared a lot, like, you know, a Skyline GTR being sold for this amount of money or whatever, and you can see that picture of the car in the auction house. So I actually have the report for the WRX STI, which is really cool. So this information is actually pretty easy to get. I'll put the link below on how you can get it for your car, or if maybe there's a car you're looking at buying. I totally recommend on doing this. I didn't do it for this car before I bought it, which was a very stupid thing at the time. So I was very hesitant to do it now because I was a bit worried about what information it may unveil. But I figured I'm going to find it out anyway, because I'm going to have the car up on a hoist. So I'm going to find out what is wrong with it. If it was, you know, you're going to find out information on these things, whether it may have had a tampered cluster, or the speedo has been changed at a point, whether it's been in an accident, or if it has rust. So I didn't want to do it because I didn't want to know about the information, but yeah, I was going to find it anyway, so I thought I would do it. So I haven't looked at this yet. I got a brief report on my Facebook message, but I tried not to look at it because I wanted to hold it off for this video so I could kind of do it and be surprised as you. If it's bad information, maybe I'll never put this video out because I'll be so embarrassed. But yeah, we'll see. So anyway, here we go. Yes, so this WRX STI was auctioned in 2018 at USS Niigata with 119,000 kilometers. USS Niigata, I haven't heard of, but I believe that's a bit further north than the other ones. I'll have to have a look. I'll put a Google map up thing right now, I guess, of where that is. This was not found to be a cluster swapped or unverified kilometers. That's good, but I kind of knew that already because this car came with a full history and full logbook history with the car, which is really good and kind of rare for Japanese cars as well. Especially of this age as well. It's like 20-something years old and it has everything with it, which is really cool. Condition grading is 4C. That's actually excellent. So that's a bit of a relief. But I may add, and a lot of people will say this as well, the grading through these auction houses is a bit kind of, yeah, like, how's it going? I've seen some with that same grading, 4C, and then, you know, you can get inspectors there to go have a look at it, and it's had like rust underneath it, like chassis rails rusted out and everything. Like Evo people know what I'm talking about there. So it's, I guess this USS Niigata, I don't know how good they are. I know one of the other ones, I've forgotten which one it is. The big one is pretty bad with these ratings. So yeah, we'll see. So basically what that means, 4 is on the body, and I believe C is the interior. And I know that C is actually pretty average for the interior, but for me, like, it's fine. I don't really notice anything. 4 with the body wise is actually really good, but I probably wouldn't have given it a 4 myself. There is a few notes to point out with this vehicle. Medium-sized corrosion was detected on the rear driver's side wheel arch, marked C2. That I know about. There was also a small corrosion mark detected on the rear left wheel guard, marked C1. That I know about. I kind of showed that in the last video on the car. Corrosion was also detected on the front right wheel arch, marked C1. Front right. Okay, that I have not seen. I'll have to have a look. I believe that might be at the very front where the front bar bolts to it. There is some some small surface rust there. That's probably what that is. Corrosion is progressed rust where it has begun to flake orange and needs to be repaired. So it's not bad rust is what this report is saying, but it does need to be repaired. And that I know about with the rear wheel arches, which I kind of wish the seller told me about, but whatever. It's in my hands now, so I have to deal with it. More rust, which was what the cefiro went through, and we all know how that went. There was a small dent found on the left guard. Have not seen that, but honestly, I haven't been over this car too much. I hadn't even like cleaned it yet properly, so I guess these things will come up when I start to clean it. Small dent on the driver's right side skirt. Haven't noticed that. Small dent on the rear left door. Small dent on the rear hatch. Haven't noticed any of them. When I do a proper clean on the car, and I'm going to give it a full polish and everything as well, I guess I'll notice those things. Deep scratch on the left side lower side skirt. Okay, medium-sized scratches on the front bumper, rear bumper, and driver's side skirt. I guess that's all just basic wear and tear. The report also mentioned that the timing belt was replaced at 73,000 kilometers, and it's fitted with a Japanese traffic card reader. Oh, I wish that was still in the car because I love them, although they do get really annoying. It's kind of like it'll just keep on telling you all the time that it's not finding it doesn't have a card in there or something. But it's kind of just such a Japanese thing. I wish it was still in there. And it's had a replacement steering wheel. Okay. This is the factory steering wheel for the car. So that's kind of confusing. I don't know what's talking about there. This just gives you just the codes that are explained for things. So it gives you a bit of an understanding of it. So like A1, small scratch, A2, scratch, A3, big scratch, E1, dimples. I guess the good thing with this car, like it hasn't been in the UK or Europe very long. So like the rust is from Japan. So like for me, that's JDM rust, yo. Like what's cooler rust than that? That rust is from Japan. Like I'm going to keep it just for that reason. Auction report, auction USS Niigata, auction date, the November 21st, 2018. Lot number, the chassis ID, the kilometers on the car. So 120,000 kilometers it had when it got auctioned. It's only got 130 now. So it hasn't done that much in the past 2 years. I know that. It's just been sitting in the UK. 2001, it's a 6-speed manual. It's white. And it got sold. This you'll kind of recognize. You'll see that a lot with the vehicles. If you can read Japanese, you'll probably understand that. Unfortunately, I can't read Japanese. It's been one of my goals for years. Maybe it'll happen. I'm already learning Norwegian living here, so I don't know if I could really fit Japanese inside this head. It can only fit so much. Yes, this is what I kind of wanted, was these pictures of the car at the auction house. That's so cool. And this kind of gives me a bit more information on the car. So one very thing that's interesting is it's got the amber reflectors in the front bar. When mine, I thought they were like white ones, but it never came with white. And I'm looking closer, I kind of put my fingernail to it, and they have been painted. So that is going, and I'm going to convert it back to how it was in Japan for sure. Either I'll remove the paint, or I did find one that was being wrecked, so I buy them off that one here in Norway. And the wheels are the same wheels that are on the car. So yeah, I don't know, that's strange. I guess the previous owner in Japan decided to swap the wheels over. I'll go through all the receipts as well. I've got so many receipts with this car, it's crazy. There is like so many times I've had tires fitted and stuff to it and had wheel alignments, so yeah. And this is an interior shot, and you can see the steering wheel, which has been replaced. So whether or not when it got auctioned off, they decided to put the factory steering wheel back on the car. So yeah, that's kind of cool. That's why I wanted to do this, is kind of get all this like information, this history on the car, which I love, which is awesome. So this will help also when I go to sell the car as well, to have this kind of information on there. You know, it proves that it hasn't been tampered with. It's an official Japanese exported car with no, scary history or anything on it. So some other things I wanted to share with you. I have the original logbooks and everything with this car. It is just stocked with information in there. The full service history, once again, you need to know Japanese to read it. But what is really cool is if you have the Google Translate app, you can just use the camera on there, and it just directly translate it through the camera on your phone, which is really cool. So that's what I've been doing with this, and kind of going through all the information on there. Going over a lot of the receipts, especially like the four-wheel alignment ones that were done on the car at quite a few intervals. One thing I did notice is that he had winter tires fitted to this car. Now that's probably why the car has rust, I'm guessing. And I was able to look and I found the like address of the previous owner and their name and everything. And the car actually comes from, I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly, but Iwate Prefecture in Japan. Let me just scroll down here so you can see where in Japan that is. So up here on the northern part of Honshu. So if you know Japan a little bit, you'll know up there they would get some snow and pretty frosty winters. So that's obviously why this car has been driven in winter. It's had winter tires fitted to it. I found it with this. So that's probably why there's rust in the back. I've been to Japan quite a few times, but I've been a lot to Hokkaido because I love snowboarding and stuff. So I've been up there, and I know never buy a car from Hokkaido. That is just like, it's a rule. Up there, it's basically like buying a car from Norway or the UK or something. Really just winter, lots of snow. Actually, not a lot of snow. I'm talking like massive amounts of snow in that area. It's insane. So yeah, you just get all the moisture. I believe they salt the roads up there. I'm not too sure, but most of the cars there are rusted out. Some other quick things I just wanted to share on the car was pretty interesting. In there, I found some heaps of catalogs for the parts that have been fitted, and some interesting ones like this Apexi power intake. So I'm guessing that was on the car and it's been converted back to normal again. More receipts. Some other cool things, like it's got the instructions for the wind deflectors that are on there, which I'm going to replace on that side because it's broken. It's also got this like little power converter thing down here, so it means you can plug in like your laptops and stuff to it, but it's got a Japanese power outlet on there, but still kind of cool. It's also got the instructions here. This is for like the side skirt attachment thing that they've put on there, which is still on there, which is amazing. This car sits really low factory. Although I may have a reason why this car sits so low, and I'll show you that in a second. Here's the instructions for the wind deflectors, which is still there. Instructions for the power connector thing. There's also instructions for, it's got like courtesy lighting in this car, so it lights up the footwell where the pedals are, and it lights up the driver's side door when you open it, which is really cool. But what was really interesting was this one here. If you know about Japanese parts, you'll know what this is. So it has had Cusco Zero coilovers, I'm guessing. I mean, it has the instruction manual for them in the car. So I'm guessing it did have these in Japan, although it didn't mention it in the auction report, which is funny. So maybe it got converted back to standard before it was auctioned and they just left this in the car. And yeah, that's why this car, I find, when I've only driven it a few times yet so far, and it's not great with the suspension. It definitely needs new suspension. So that's something I'm going to sort out in the future. It also has a Fuji Subaru exhaust manual in there as well. So whether it had an exhaust fitted in the past as well. So yeah, a bit of history on the car. So cool to have all this information. It's just like digging through evidence. I love doing my detective work on cars, and getting information on Japanese cars is really hard. But I have all this information here. It helps me kind of realize the history on it. I can see the previous owner. I can see where the car was in Japan, its auction sheet and everything as well, which is so cool. I guess, you know, what inspired me to make this video was if you follow Juicebox, definitely recommend their channel. Neil, who runs it and everything, he kind of did a full history on his AE86, which is amazing because that car is so much older than this. So to get all that information that he did was incredible. And what he did, he was able to get a full vehicle history report on it. So you can go back, you can look at the previous owners, where they lived and everything as well. I can do that with this car, but those are really expensive. I believe they're about $300 US or something to do that. So I don't really need to because I have all the information here with it. Maybe I'll do it in the future, but right now I would prefer to put the money into actually fixing this and fixing the cefiro as well. So yeah, definitely check out that video as well. I'll put a link to Juicebox, but you probably know about it already if you're watching me. Anyway, that's it. So a bit of history on the car. Sigh of relief here with that auction report. That's good. Still got to get this car up on a lift though to actually see underneath it with my own eyes. Hopefully that'll happen soon. more things are happening as well. We got to get Norwegian plates on the car, so more videos on that as well coming in the future. But anyway, thanks for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Link below on how you can do the vehicle, get the auction report as well for your car. I believe it goes back to about 2007. So if your car was auctioned after that, you'll be able to get the information on it. So yeah, hope you enjoyed it, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.